Hi YouTube, it's been a while. I have something to show you actually, so I'm back for a little bit. I hope you're doing well. If you didn't know, I've been at college. That's really just it. I've been at Grand Valley State University studying mechanical engineering and just got done with my first year and I'm loving it. But I did happen to come home and make an album, one that I'm really passionate and really excited about. So I wanted to share that with you. Now I might have already made this video in its entirety and it might have been about 40 minutes long or so. That being said, we're gonna go with plan number 2, which is I'm gonna talk a little bit about why it's called what it's called, and then we are going to move on to, instead of giving you a minute or so about every song, because that turned into way more than a minute, I have 20 seconds to tell you why the song is special to me and why I love them all, because I do. So the Maple Afterparty basically follows the end of Here Goes Nothing, where we were on a high note and on top of the world because about to graduate high school, and you think you got it all figured out, and then God says no you don't. And so you go through this whole summer of transitions and just things that aren't necessarily better or worse, but it's just adapting to a new environment. And so the Maple Afterparty is the after party of the thinking you have it all figured out time of your life, and more just picking up the pieces of who you think you are and what you want to be, and choosing to live the life that you want to live because you're on your own for the first time. And that takes some experimentation. It takes good days, it takes bad days, it takes meeting a lot of great people. And so I think that there's a lot to be learned in that time of your life, and that's why I thought it was really cool to make an album out of it almost. And then the Maple Afterparty because it's in the fall time. If you didn't know that, it's in the fall. Fall's my favorite season, so it's a fall album. Okay, so I just want to take this part to acknowledge before we get to the music that all this kind of spawned from a picture. And while there might have been an album, it probably wouldn't have taken the same shape or had the same idea behind it had it not been for the experience that when I first got to Grand Valley, we have a little bridge overlooking the ravine, and so I saw a little log that was going across a stream, and I thought, man, it would be a really cool album cover if I were to walk across that and someone take a picture from this bridge. And sure enough, my buddy Troy did it. It looked pretty cool. We waited until the leaves changed, and then I texted Grace DeBest, who is a phenomenal photographer, and if you haven't looked at any of her stuff, you totally should, because she's great at what she does. But she totally helped me out, and we took some amazing pictures, and it ended up being the album cover and one of the single covers. So thank you, Grace, you are amazing. But that picture kind of just, it cemented the whole idea in my mind in a way. Okay, and without further ado, let us get to the 20 seconds per song, because I like to talk about these songs that I have an emotional connection to, and I want to talk about them. Okay, so starting off with Counting Quarters, this was the first one I wrote out of any of the ones on the album, and lyrically it just spoke a lot to what I was going through at the time and kind of the loss of childhood innocence in viewing different events of my lifetime. And so the lyrics just spoke a lot to me, and I think that's what makes this song hit so hard. Loose Ends and Sunsets is the definitive walk-off song, for me at least. If my life was a movie montage, that's when all my friends and I go our separate ways, and I'm driving off into the sunset being all sad because I miss my buddies. But it's also just a jam. Okay, so while Staying in Adore You touches on my opinion on the lack of slow dances nowadays and just the intimacy of a slow dance, it also did something very important for me, which was provide me evidence that I could maybe buy this guy, because that solo, I don't even know what happened there, but one of my favorite parts on the whole album. Starlight has always been a jam for me. It was one of those ones that I made right before I left for school, and it just kind of encapsulated the feeling for me of being with my buddies and enjoying those last 3 months that we had together before we all left for a little bit. And I just really like the guitar amps on that one. Coop's Progress, initially named Mama's Boy, was the first song that I wrote when I went to school, and I was really happy with it lyrically and just kind of the content of it. I think that it well envelops the journey of going out on your own and trying to be a better person and just to grow up, basically. Same Old Skyline. I love the guitar amps used on that one. It's got some crunch, you know what I'm talking about, but it just, the feeling of coming back to the town that you're from the first time after leaving, and it's been 4 months, is a crazy feeling, and this is the song that I made right after that.
I actually did forget about that though.
Alright, turn back time might be longer than 20 seconds because I have to say thank you to Nathan Kuhn. He's a filmmaker, a musician, and someone I'm lucky to call my friend, and we worked on this song together. Now, this one, like a lot of them, was birthed in my dorm room, but this one was just me and Nathan messing around, making drums and playing guitars and freestyling whatevers, and it turned into this song, and I am really happy with how this turned out. And even the pieces that came after I came home and re-recorded, the guitar solos, I mean, I just love everything about this song, and this is probably my favorite on the album. So One Last Rendezvous has kind of a lightheartedness to it, and that's because it was made when I was about to go to a Thanksgiving dinner with my friends, and I was just thinking about how we've all had these different experiences for the last 2-3 months, but we're all still friends and we're all still going to come back together and have this amazing time at this dinner, and we did, and I'm so glad that we did it. But it was just kind of a song about the excitement of that. Pass Me By is about how there's always a plan at work, and even though we choose what we want to strive for and what we plan for and what we want to stress over, that may not always be the ultimate ending of the situation that we're in. And so it's important to realize that no matter what happens, as long as I try and as long as I get up and try to do better every day, it's going to work out for me eventually. Hereditary Formalities, I really like the crunch on this one. I really like the deepness and the vibe of it. I was getting dragged into some family event, but I got to put a suit on, and that's always a good excuse to feel good, so something about that. Thunderstorm might also be longer than 20 seconds because my man Braden Meesey has been with me since Dinosaur 3, 4, or whatever it was, and this dude just kills it on the keys every time. And so there was no one I would have rather asked to come play on Thunderstorm with me, and I'm so glad that he did because it made the song a million times better. And I really like the message of just accepting that when you love someone, the good comes with the bad, and just because it may be bad, I still love you regardless, and it doesn't matter to me. PB&B, peanut butter and bananas. If you know that it is one of the best combos in the culinary universe, then you've got it figured out. And so I'll just say that there was nothing better than coming home from a hard day of class and just eating peanut butter and bananas. It's great. And I want to make an address and say that some people say that I'm addicted to peanut butter, and I think that that's a tad bit outlandish in its claim. I don't think that that's fair for you to claim that I'm addicted, and I actually happen to be able to quit whenever I want to quit, and this is not a problem whatsoever. Okay, so long story short, I'm gonna hit this drum fill, and then we're just gonna drop it all. Okay, so As It Always was written after I got home, and basically my friend Jerry, I told him to go lift and then come back and we'd write a song. And so I did all the instruments while he was lifting, and he came back and then we wrote lyrics, whatever. And it just totally made the whole front part of my summer to have this song. I was so excited. I listened to it all the time because I just loved it so much. And I really hope that you guys rock with it the way I do, because it's just about, you know, accepting things as they come and making the realization that life has always been good and life will always be good. You just gotta let it be good. I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone who has encouraged or listened or heck played on it now. I mean, it's such a blessing to be able to do this kind of stuff, even if it is just on the small scale like we're doing. But I just love that, because when someone says to me, hey, I listened to your music and it helped me get through a bad day, that is just the most beautiful thing. And even if no one listens, thank you guys for letting me have a spot on the internet to make music that I enjoy making, because it's just such a blessing. Thank you. And if no one's listening or watching, thank you to Editing Cooper for making this video, because I know you're really proud of this album that you spent the better part of a year on, and I'm proud of you, and thank you for putting in the time, because I'll listen to your music. But yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate you. All right, and I will leave you with this. Please don't be afraid to do something because you don't think that you're gonna get a following from it, because at the end of the day, that might not be what's important. And I know to me, it's great if people listen to this, but I'm just so grateful for the fact that I get to make an album and I get to make music and it's my own. And I think that's beautiful. But sometimes in your personal life, the lamp is a lot more useful than the sun. And take that as you may. It's kind of a Chinese proverb, I guess, but yeah, just go do it. Also, a side note that's kind of important, you should totally go listen to the album, because without the album, this video really has no context whatsoever. So I'd really appreciate it if you go listen to the album. But if you don't, even then, I'll still enjoy it because I had fun making it. And one stream on Turn Back Time and I will shave my mustache. Thank you.
1, 2, 3, oh!